Still holds the European record though. So Georgia Sheffield out ahead in line number 6. We'll keep an eye on what's happening in the other positions in the field. 4 and 5 going well. Soo Ki-young and Megan Willis in the centre lanes. Brock Whiston going well up there in lane number 8 as well, just one from the top. So it's a close contest here. Georgia Sheffield going well at the front of the field. In terms of the S11 tussle, it does look like Lizette Brownsma in lane number 1 has just got the edge over the 2 Chinese swimmers here. It's coming up to the final turn. Brock Whiston, another one who might be thinking she might have a little bit of a chance to get under some of the qualification standards here at these championships. She's got a very strong breaststroke, and that's taken her ahead of the others here. Can she hold on this freestyle? Can she challenge that time, James?
She's looking for just a couple of seconds under what she was entered in, so a strong breaststroke and coming in strong now, so a few more seconds, it's going to be close.
Well, the clock just ticking over at 2:38, 2:39.52 is the target. Oh, and it's just slipped by. 2:40.70 for Brock Whiston. Oh, that was close. 858 points though.
It's a big point score, and I would be very surprised if that doesn't bring her back for the final this afternoon. So another opportunity and getting closer. So in a good spot.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a bigger points total than all the S11, so that's good for her. 815 points for Brownsma, was the top of the S11 trio, like we pointed out. Jing Wang in second place in terms of that, 715 points. And 658 points for Georgia Sheffield, I think it was, in fourth place in that heat. Oh no, Lai Wen Kai, 668. And all these times on the reading these off the scoreboard, all these times and the points totals, they're not in order for us, so we've got to try and have to pick them through, and they're all similar. 668, 858, 658. My eyes are going together trying to read these times, but Brock Whiston definitely at the top there, 858 with 815 points for Lizette Brownsma in second. So Brock Whiston's got a chance, you think, tonight?
Oh, definitely. That's a very solid swim for the morning. Just get herself back in for the swim tonight, and you always find a little bit more in those finals.
So we will watch for Brock Whiston when we get to the finals. We think that is going to be enough for her to get there. 858 points, as you said, James. We're around about the 700 point mark to try and make the finals in the 100 freestyle. I expect the IMs are going to be something similar, you would think. Maybe slightly down on that, maybe? Yeah. High 600s?
I would imagine around 650. Not that many less athletes, but a few less athletes, which is, again, excellent. Usually you get a big drop-off between the 100 and, or the 50 and 100 freestyle to some of the other events. So that, keeping those numbers in the 200 IM as well, just shows, again, that how many people are actually here.
Yeah, and the quality of these swimmers as well. In this one we have Ayumi Ando, Ho Ying Chun, Jia Ma. So I mentioned in that previous heat is the world record holder for the S11 class. Faye Rogers, a newcomer to GB para swimming. She goes in lane number 3, a very strong butterflyer, and she's gone out and a strong butterfly in the early stages. Anastasia Dimitriev, a big find for the Spanish team last year at the World Championships. Good breaststroker, a young Spanish swimmer in lane 4. Tatiana Lebrun from Belgium, medalist last year the world champ, she goes in 5. Jieling Zhu from China in 6. Janine Brouwer from Germany in 7. Mayumi Inui from Japan in 8. And Poppy Maskell back in the water again. And stretching away at the front of the field, Poppy Maskell.
Another opportunity for somebody to add themselves again to our list. A small drop needed, and she's gone out fast on this flying backstroke leg.
Poppy Maskell, I think she was voted the most promising newcomer, I think, at the British Swimming Awards, I remember, of the year.
There was definitely an award, and her swims from World Championships were just incredible, completely deserved.
And she's really kind of mixed it up with the more experienced competitors in the S14 class. There's Jessica Jane Applegate, Bethany Firth. They've been around for probably a decade or so. Louise Fiddis has been around for a few years. So they've, Poppy Maskell shaking it up a little bit in that class. And the more experienced ones are responding to that, which is good to see. It's a great tussle here at the front of the field as Poppy Maskell goes away. Anastasia Dimitrov said she was a strong breaststroker. The young Spanish swimmer coming through strongly against Tatiana Lebrun. And they go over absolutely together. Maskell still has the lead. In 4th place, Mami Inui. 5th place is Janina Brouwer. And 6th place, Faye Rogers. We will keep close tabs on Jaya Ma, the world record holder in the S11 class, but she's a little bit off the pace at the minute at the back of this field. As Poppy Maskell comes into the closing stages here. The qualification standard, James, is 2:33.69, and she's under that, Poppy Maskell. Well done.
2:32.49 with 790 points. That's underneath the qualification standard.
Well, Poppy Maskell, that's another name we can add to the list. Well done to her. Great swim. She took it out with a vengeance there, didn't she? She really went for that right from the start.
She's a very good fly and backstroke swimmer, so utilising those strengths to kind of push herself forward and put herself in the mix for getting that time.
And she did 2:32.49. She'll be delighted with that one. 790 points. It was Dimitrov coming in 893 points and 839 for Jieling Zhu from China. So the two S9s with 2 good swims there. They have high points totals. Dimitrov though was a real find last year for the Spanish team. They've always had strong swimmers, the Spanish team. But she was one that really came to the fore, certainly in the breaststroke, winning a medal at the World Championships. As a result, still waiting for the result to be confirmed. You see us here in Ponds Forge. Great arena here in Ponds Forge as we've become used to that in para swimming. It's been the home of para swimming for, well, some 30 years, not exclusively, but it's been the home to this championship. Started here in 1993, so
it definitely feels like coming home.
Yeah.
There's this thing around you swim fast when you're in Sheffield.
So there's the lineup for heat number 10. Yi Cheng, Maria Carolina Gomez Santiago, Meng Zhang, Pernilla Lindberg, Roisin Nirian, Yulan Chan, Bethany Firth, Bianca Papp, Louise Fiddis, and Chantal Zuiderveld. Again, chances here for GB swimmers to make the qualification, but good to see Chantal Zuiderveld back again. Another retiree who's decided to come back. You're doing it the wrong way around, James. Everybody's coming back.
I came back and went away again. There's got to be something in the. There's got to be something in it around having a break and recharging and really coming back into terms of why you love the sport and why you love racing. Because as we've seen in the past few years, it's happened quite a lot. So exciting to see these athletes back as well, and wish her all the best for her return.
Chantal had a great Tokyo Games, winning a couple of gold medals and winning this one at 200 IM almost unexpectedly. I remember her expression after that. She set the world record and she was like arms out to the side as if to say, what? Have I just done that? It's incredible.
It was an amazing swim. And
it's an amazing swimming prospect here for Bethany Firth. We saw her in the foyer coming in. Said she was up for this one this morning, and she's gone out very strong. The British record holder, Bethany Firth. And Justin, 2:19.55. So you would think that this qualification target of 2:33.69 is well within her capabilities here. Bianca Papp as well. Again, one of these group of Hungarians who had such success over recent years. She was a silver medalist at the Paralympic Games. She swam against Chantal Zuiderveld. Number of events in the S10 classification. And she's going well here.
This is a really strong swim from Bethany Firth. Coming back in this last freestyle leg, really strong. A good freestyler as well.
Bethany Firth just being chased by the Irish swimmer, Roisin Nirian. And also Maria Carolina Gomez Santiago in lane number 1. We'll keep an eye on her time as well. The S12 swimmer. But Bethany Firth, she is inside that qualification standard again, James. 2:28.44 for Bethany Firth.
I believe that's another one for the list, Paul.
Excellent.
Some great 200 IMs there within the S14 class.
And 867 points, I think might be the top one. That's Gomez Santiago, the Brazilian. We are hearing from our Brazilian correspondent that some of the Brazilians took part in the Italian World Series last week. They've come straight here to Sheffield. I say straight here because they got stuck in Amsterdam because of high winds. The journey took 46 hours.
Wow. That sounds like a challenge for even some of the most prepared of athletes. But, you know, they all have this education now around what they need to do to cope and be ready for these situations. So I'm sure it probably sounds really difficult, but I'm sure they took it in their stride.
But certainly a couple of good performances from the Brazilians that we've seen. Gomez Santiago was pretty close in that 100 freestyle earlier. It was a pretty good time for her in that 200 IM as well. And that was the final heat of the women's 200 metres individual medley. And now we have got the men. So, men, another 10 heats of this one. James can tell us what the cut-off point was for the 200 IM when he has that results up. In heat number 1 of this 200 IM, Edwin Soderland, Tekai Brian Lau, Mohammed Al Atwani, Saki Zulkarnain, Hobo Samuel Chu, Ethan Yin Jun Chu, Archie Hare back in the water again, and Sinestro from Argentina in the outside lane.
A very strong 200 IM, and it's looking that 700 points is probably the cutoff.
700, right? Okay. There's definitely a theme for me.
See where it holds true.
Yeah. So a good start here. Santiago Sinestro in the outside lane. Argentina again in these early heats. We could have, well, no times at all, so we could have times ranging from anything really, and the field is getting very spread out here. With Sinestro, the S10 swimmer. First to the wall in 105.75. Ethan Yunchuku in second place in 108. And there's Sinestro. Just going through on the breaststroke, being followed closely by Ethan Yunchuku. But it's, well, close for third position. Looks like Mohammed Al Atwani from Iraq in lane number 3. And in the centre as well, Hobo Samuel Chu. So there's the Iraqi. He's lying in probably 3rd or 4th position at the minute as they come to the end of this breaststroke. It's out at the front of the field, way on the other side of the pool. There he is, Santiago Sinestro, who is going to bring them home. Let's see what kind of points totals we're going to get from this one. Not the most experienced swimmers. I haven't seen many of them in the international stage. But Santiago Sinestro in 704 points. That's pretty decent. 221.24.
700 points, as we saw in the last one, was enough to come back for the final. So that could be a very, very good swim.
Oh, he's laid down the marker there, 704 points. As the other swimmers making their way into the wall. Another S11 swimmer, Archie here there as well from Richmond Dale. It's great to see these visually impaired swimmers in the S11 classes. Just watch the tapper as Archie here comes into the wall in lane number 7. The tapper will be springing into action. It's Mohammed Al Atwani coming in lane number 3. Archie here is going to finish now. We're going to miss the tap on the pictures there, but we saw the tapper. And Archie here safely into the wall. His time not registering though, that's unfortunate, James. Oh, here it is. 3:18.01, a little bit of a delay. And there's the S6 swimmer, Edvin Soderlind from Sweden. Making his way into lane 1. I think he's going to be the final swimmer to complete the distance. Edvin Soderlind makes it into the wall. Finishes in 3:45.44. I always like to see the S11 swimmers, the visually impaired swimmers. James, I remember, probably, kind of in the mid-2000s, that the numbers were quite down, especially in the women's S11, and they thought they were going to lose events from the international programme. And they were just kind of saved, they were kept in the programme, and it's just built, and it's so competitive now. I mean, there was low numbers at that point, but now, wow, really, really tough to make a breakthrough on the international stage.
It's very interesting. It's actually something I noticed from this morning. Was my experience was that we were lacking a few S11 swimmers, and recently in the last sort of couple of years they seem to have come through, and that part of the sport is developing.
Well, it was unfortunate for Archie here. It looks like he was subject of a disqualification. It's unfortunate for the young man, but I'm sure he'll build on that. As we go on to the next heat, Singh Rajkumar from India in 0, George Longley in 1, Mohammed Saik in 2, Mustafa Al Hussaini in 3, Luis Hertapolza in 4, Theo Reynolds in 5, Mackenzie O'Reilly in 6, Qasim Al Kajafi in 7, Jake Vickers in 8, and Jamie Markle in lane number 9. Looks like it might be Al Hussaini there, off to a good lead on the butterfly. Jake Vickers at the top as well in lane number 8, going well, the S14 swimmer. Interesting when you see the classes of this one, James. There's one S14 swimmer, and the rest are like 5s and 6s, or a couple of 8s as well.
A bit of variation in class, but seeded by time. So hopefully that we get a nice competitive race.
Yeah, Theo Reynolds. In fact, no, sorry, it's Luis Hertapolza from Spain. Just maybe edging it here. Talk about a competitive race, James. This is excellent. Very close here between 5 swimmers in the opening stages.
Some great competition going on, and again looking forward to those breaststrokers coming through.
Well, See how the Spanish swimmer, he's another one of the young Spanish swimmers who came through. We talked about the Germans coming through in Dublin. The Spanish swimmers had a big influx of people in the European Championships back in 2016. I remember they brought a real young squad to the championships, which were in Madeira again in 2016. And Luis Herta-Pozzo was one of them, and he went on to medal at the European Championships back in Madeira in 2021. So we're trying to stretch away from the front of the field here, the Spanish swimmer. We saw Anastasia Dimitrov take one of her heats in the SM9 classification for women. A teammate from Spain, Luis Herta-Pozzo, in lane number 4. Looks like he is stretching away from the others in this field. Close contest for second, third and fourth. Probably Mackenzie O'Reilly from Gloucester winning that one. In fact, Jamie Markle going well on the outside lane. There is Herta-Pozzo. Who's going to lead them home? Spanish swimmer. Jamie Markle, wonder if he can catch him on the outside. What do you think the points total is going to be for this one, Luis Herta-Pozzo? We're going to be around about the 700 range again? Maybe just under, I think.
Just our 650s.
Right. You've got 5 seconds to wait for these to come up. Oh, 562. We were a little bit ambitious for Luis Herta-Pozzo. But he's looking good at the front of that field. Might well be the highest points total, actually, because it's the lowest numerical classification in this heat. A little bit of a trouble with the electronics as the swimmers hit the wall. 562 could be that top. So some big names to come as well, as we've said in all the events, as the heats ramp up towards these fast heats at the end. But of course, you've got to keep your eyes open and all of the heats going through, because as you said, James, these heats are seeded on times, and some of the record holders from the lower numerical classes, the classes with more impairment, are in these earlier heats. So we've got to keep a watch on them all the way through.
It gives us a good idea of what sort of points are going to be needed to make those finals as well.
So the final swimmers just making their way in to the finish here. George Longley hits the wall. And I think we're all home now. So just waiting. Well, I apologise for any technical difficulties. Day one of the competition. Teething problems, James? Don't expect that.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't be a swimming event.
No, not at all.
We didn't have something happen. It's normally if you go through the whole competition without a hitch, it's always like the last event, something happens, timing pad goes, or they've got to change something. It's like, oh, I thought we were just finished. Disqualification, unfortunately, in that previous heat. hopefully technical problems sort themselves out and we can move on to the second heat. There's the lineup for that second heat. Theo Wooden, Kian Saville, Daniel Videra, Mustafa Al-Haini, Bruce D, Liam Hardy, Alfred Mukhtar Attar, Harvey Stonebank, Binu Ganadsan, and Da Silva de Oliveira, Samuel Da Silva Oliveira. Right up there at the top, one of the characters of the World Championships in Madeira. He's always very expressive at the end of his races. Do you remember the Brazilian? The Madeira World Championships last year?
I remember there was quite a few. It's amazing to see that such emotion at the end of some of these races as well. So, and it just shows just how much it means when they go and get your medal or break a record, or in this case, qualify for your first major champs.
Yeah, we'll see what Samuel does. Again, another big find for the Brazilian team. He obviously came into the team after an accident that he had. I think him and his cousin, had an accident at the same time. And or arm amputees, both of them. But Samuel really kind of came to the fore. Last year, kind of making his debut at these Madeira World Championships. So, one to watch, the S5 swimmer in the outside lane. And that's the fastest entry time on paper here, 2:59.25 for him. So see how he goes here. I think he was in Italy last week, so he might have been one of the ones that had that mammoth journey.
Spending 46 hours in Amsterdam.
Yeah. So just talk us through the technique, James. He's a swimmer with no arms. Great butterflyer.
Making the most of that undulation. So butterfly for me was always a leg-driven stroke, and the power forward came from that leg kick. So the swimmer in lane 9 is obviously making the most of that undulation, but breathing to the side to make sure that they don't go too up and down and continue that forward motion. Tough to go over 200 meters of max kick. So to make those changes in stroke as well and really try and differentiate the technique is something that he might work on to be efficient throughout the whole of the 200 IM.
Yeah, of course, sometimes you see the swimmers with no arms if it is on the longer events like you. Sometimes they change, maybe even on the 100 back sometimes, like it's butterfly kick, then it's alternate kick as well. They kind of change one line to the other, just a kind of bit of variation of it.
Just to help maintain that speed through the whole event rather than go really fast at the start and fall off a little bit towards the end. So trying to swim evenly and efficiently throughout the race just to get the best result.
Well, he's doing a good job at the minute. He is second at the moment, behind Mustafa Al-Haini from Iraq. Of course, the big Brazilian national hero was Daniel Diaz. He swam in this classification, in the SM5 classification, which Samuel Da Silva de Oliveira swims in. And kind of the Brazilians, when Daniel Diaz retired after Tokyo, Brazil obviously looking for a replacement for him, and they seem to have found him immediately.
and Daniel was one of the all-time greats of that Paralympic swimming world. When I started, was already extremely decorated as an athlete, so would have been a massive loss to that Brazilian team. But it shows the strength that they have across all classifications, that they can just sort of bring someone in who carries on winning.
Yeah, a couple of gold medals at the World Championships last year in individual events, also a prominent figure in the relay teams as well for Brazil. And he's on freestyle now, James. Just kind of breathing to the side, that flutter kick.
And he's kind of maintaining that forward motion again really, really well after 200 metres. The breaststroke was a strong leg for him, and some of the impairments of the legs now for the freestyle will come through, but good swim.
So just about on the 3-minute mark, so about 5 swimmers finishing absolutely together there. It looks like it was Mukhtar Attar first to the wall, but the highest points total will be Samuel da Silva de Oliveira. 301.24, 796 points for him. That should warrant another swim tonight, I think.
I think so. Just outside his entry time, but for a morning swim, that's an excellent job.
So there's Samuel da Silva de Oliveira. Again, apologies on the technical issues of the live stream. Hopefully you're picking us up okay. So we're just waiting for confirmation of that result before we can move on to the next heat. I think we have it now. I think we've pretty much according to time, I think, James. I don't think we're too far off the time. It's been actually a quick session. We started at 9:30. We're coming up to 12:30 now. It doesn't seem like we've been here for 3 hours.
No, not at all. I'm surprised. It's the first time I've looked at the clock in the last couple of hours, and it's been exciting. It's been interesting.
Yeah.
There's been some excellent swims, and I think the final's going to bring more of that and bring some real atmosphere and emotion tonight.
It'll be different in the finals. You'll have 3 World Series finals. The winner can come from anywhere in those 3 finals, so we keep an eye on the points totals as we go from one final to the next. Again, hopefully we'll have all these gremlins sorted out by tonight. Hopefully you're picking us up okay on the live stream. So heat number 4 is underway of this 200 metres individual medley. You have Origi from Argentina in lane 0, Nathan Brown from Richmond Day, lane 1, Scott Hadley and William Newton, City of Coventry there side by side in 2 and 3. Nijan Mukherjee from India in lane number 4, Kai Bradford from London Disability in 5, Wei Yu Yuan from China in lane 6, Harry Arnold Pepper from Royston in 7, Akash Das from Osvestry in 8, and Li Chou Wang from China goes in lane number 9. So Kai Bradford is ahead of the field as they come down this final one length of freestyle. we'll keep an eye on the points as we go through. Kai Bradford is now being headed by William Newton in lane number 3. City of Coventry swimmer in the S14 class is going to bring them home first. And here is Newton with Kai Bradford in second place. The points in the 400 range for these two. The outside lane swimmer, maybe Li Chao Wang in lane number 9. James might just get in with the highest points total, I think 756 points. So Li Chao Wang right up there in lane number 9. Comes home again on these Paralympic Games. Medalist, very experienced Chinese team taking part at these championships. Again, apologies for the technical issues in the live stream, but hopefully you're back with us and can hear us okay and see the action here in Ponds Forge. What do you think then, James? Another SM5 swimmer into the final, you would imagine, 756 points?
Absolutely, and I think we've had some really strong swims from those lower classes in this, and it's exciting to see. 5-10 years ago, it might have been dominated by 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, but to see the variation now, and even in the heats to see the variation, it's exciting, and should bring us some good finals later tonight.
And Mukundan in second place there, the Indian swimmer. He was also a Commonwealth Games competitor back in Birmingham last year, alongside yourself, James. In the S7 class, of course.
Didn't directly compete against him.
You're mostly Australians, aren't you?
I was surrounded by Australians. Unfortunately, I haven't seen any Australians here yet to wind them up. That they didn't get the clean sweep on the podium, but yeah, they brought a very strong team, the Australians, and it was a nice rivalry between the home nations and Australia for those games, and across all sports, not just swimming.
Yeah, it always says Commonwealth Games. Ciorini from Argentina goes in 0 in this one, heat 5. David Sanchez Sierra from Spain goes in lane number 1. Sergio Zayas from Argentina, another one of the S11 swimmers, goes in lane 2. Owen Johnson, S10 swimmer from Repton, goes in 3. Darren Pradius Flores from Borough of Newham goes in 4. Fulgraf from Germany in 5. Kai Gelstorp from Reicheneld goes in 6. Andrew Behari from Blyth in 7. Luke Boyles from Bournemouth in 8. And Balagi from India goes in lane number 9. So a good start in lane number 5. Julian Fulgraf from Germany, S14 swimmer, goes out in 30.67. Signorini from Argentina going well in lane 0. David Sanchez Sierra as well. David Sanchez Sierra, the S6 swimmer, again might be the one that has the highest number of points, James. Let me get to the end here. David Sanchez Sierra very strong on the butterfly and backstroke. So he's strong in the opening half of this individual medley. He's just gone over there at the bottom of the screen there. In second position, the S6 swimmer, Fulgraf. In first position though, Julian Fulgraf. Big lead for the S14 swimmer from Germany.
He's got out very hard there on the first 100. Really streaking ahead and seeing if he can lay down his mark.
Right on the outside, Malagi from India, the S8 swimmer, going really well there, getting ahead of Luke Boyles and Andrew Behari and Kai Gelstorp. Those three are side by side, just behind the Indian swimmer, but it is Fulgraf. Will look good in the early stages. Can he hold this pace now as he comes in? to head home. Entry time for Fulgraf will be in his sights. Let's see what he gets there as he comes into the closing stages of this one. Julian Fulgraf trying to get close to that 2:47 time. I think he's going to be well inside that when he really went out for this one, James.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with the second 100 of Owen Johnson, the young S10.
You've got an eye on the S10s, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
You love the S10s.
I love to see who's coming through. One of the biggest things that I'd love to see is somebody come on and break my 100 fly British record. I'm just trying to spot the future S10 fly swimmer pool.
Owen Johnson getting in 428 points on this occasion. Looks like it was David Sanchez Sierra who had that good opening for Spain in lane number 1. 756 points for him. And Malaki in the outside lane, who's going well in the kind of middle part of that IM, just getting out of the water now. He had a good swim there, 2:44. And 619 points for Malagi in that outside lane. Almost bang on his entry time, I think. Top swimmers exit the water. We'll still wait for confirmation to see if we can get everyone through this 200 IM without disqualification. Of course, the blacked out goggles of Sergio Zayas have to be checked. So again, apologies for any issues we've had with the live stream. We hope you are back with us and enjoying the action again here in Ponsford in Sheffield. You see the site there for Ponsford. We do have a disqualification in that one. It was Signorini from Argentina, unfortunately DQ'd in that one. It's a big points total as well. 756 points though for David Sanchez Sierra to take him into top spot in that heat. Now we have heat number 6. We have Lewis Jones in 1, Tobias Klassen in lane 2. Vijit Nuk Kunpradit from Thailand in lane number 2. Chuvong from Thailand in 3. Wang in 4 from China. Matthew Torres back in the water again for the USA. He goes in 5. Jordan Menny from France in 6. Hong Yang from China in 7. Luke Batty from GB goes in 8. And Matthew Scott from University of Aberdeen Performance goes in lane number 9. So it looks like it might be Chuvon possibly out into an early lead. Jordan Menny from France in lane number 6, going well, but it is Chirajok Chuvon, I think, who's going to lead them through. S14 swimmers to the front here and to the fore. Jinjiang Wang back in the water again. China really come with this big field. They're going to be well represented in the finals, I think, the Chinese team tonight.
Absolutely. It's a really strong team, and they've had some good swims this morning, so looking forward to seeing what they build on to Worlds in the summer.
Yeah, they didn't attend the World Championships last year, the Chinese team, in Madeira, which was unusual because we normally see some sort of presence for the Chinese team, but they chose to sit that one out last year. But building obviously this year, 1 year out from Paris, I'm sure we'll see a big representation for the Chinese.
And that ability to practice like travel strategies, for example. So you've got these opportunities to do the long haul travel over to Europe, and that's going to be vital for arriving in Paris ready to go.
Of course, I suppose that coming to the UK for the World Championships, it's not going to be vastly different in terms of travel time and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. And you look to practice these things as much as possible because they're the unknowns. They're the things where, as we said, Brazil getting stuck for 46 hours. We need to know if that happens, what is our plan?
Well, Luke Batty going well in lane number 8. He is stretching them through. Luke Batty with that entry time of 2:37.98. Just keep an eye and see where he gets to. And he was into the wall in a very impressive 2:30.62. Well done, Luke Batty. That's a big jump, isn't it?
That's an excellent swim. Almost 8 seconds down on what his entry time was, so excellent swim by Luke Batty.
Jordan Meni from France and Chuvon from Thailand. They don't tie on time, but they tie on points, James. 517. Klassen as well, 516. So, of course, the points are not, like, they don't go down to the 100th. I think there's a range, isn't there, that the points. So even if you don't get exactly the same time, you will get the same number of points if you're within a couple of hundredths of each other. Depends where the cutoff is, really. Oh, we do have a disqualification, unfortunately. It was one of the big point scorers as well, 830 points, but it's a disqualification for Hong Yang, which leaves Luke Batty out in front, 695 points. Ahead of Jingang Wang, 688, and that's given themselves a good chance making that final.
Absolutely, I think Luke has done everything he possibly can there to get a second swim tonight.
So we have heat number 7. There is the lineup for this one. Poing Zhang, Wachiwara Inchu, Angus Leckenby, Zach Sturgis, Colin Jingguang Soon, Inaki Basalov, Abdullah, Freyden Dewan, Nathan McManus and Uchu Tomita. So Inaki Basalov in the middle is the S5 swimmer. He's in the higher of those 2 yellow marked lanes. He's behind Abdullah, the S14 swimmer. So, sorry, Basilov, S7 swimmer. Might be looking at the highest points totals, or possibly the swimmers in the outside lanes, the 2 S11s. Bowen Zhang from China, or Uchu Tomita from Japan. So Zhang closest to us, Tomita right at the top, going very well in the opening stages here. Was a medalist, Tomita, at his home Paralympic Games, bronze medalist in this event, the individual medley.
What an experience for him to have done that in Tokyo. He's swimming well now as well, so be close between him and the Chinese swimmer in lane 0, but going well at the moment.
Yeah, Tomita right there, 111.51 at the halfway stage for the Japanese swimmer, right at the top of your shot there. He's behind Nathan McManus, behind the S14 swimmers with an intellectual impairment. When we talk about the S14 swimmers, James, one of the kind of issues that affects a lot of S14 swimmers is kind of race pacing, isn't it? That it's not something that you don't see happen a lot, that the S14 swimmers, sometimes they don't keep a lot in reserve at the end, they just go out for it, and that's one of the problems with some of the S14s, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's the same way that our physical impairments cause differences in swimming. The intellectually impaired guys have different challenges, and one of those can be around pacing and being efficient so that they swim the race more, they have challenges swimming the race more evenly and then getting the best result. But again, it causes difference in race tactics and just adds to the excitement of the races.
Yeah, you can see some very, very tough S14 races. Just when they all come up against each other. and kind of almost get sucked into someone else's race, which isn't what you want to do sometimes.
It's incredible on some of the 200 freestyles, especially the one at the Commonwealth Games, and how they raced each other there. It was quite hard at the start, and people sort of hanging on, and other athletes coming through that maybe not were in that bubble. That made it a really exciting event to watch. Looks difficult though. I was never a 200 swimmer.
No.
The last 50 of a 200 was slightly too difficult for me. I can never get around the fact of I was at the end and I now had to swim away from where I needed to get to.
Yeah, spoken like a true sprinter.
Spent many years pretending I was one until I finally became one, and then everything got a lot harder.
It's a good time for Inaki Basilov in the middle there, 915 points. And Tomita, who we spoke about there, the Japanese swimmer, the S11, 755. So 915 for Basilov. It's really good, isn't it?
That's a very big swim from Heat 7. Putting himself in contention to be one of the highest point scorers through to the final.
Yeah, well, he had a great World Championships, Basilov, earlier. Last year. He's now second place in the individual medley. He won the 400 freestyle, so we know he's got some sort of back-end speed or back-end stamina. Also a couple of medals in backstroke and butterfly, so he looks like he's well placed to be a good individual medley swimmer.
Ticking off all 4 boxes.
Yeah. So Basilov, 915 points. I wonder if he's going to just claim one of these medals tonight in the multi-classification events.
So we've got some very strong swimmers coming in the final couple of heats from the SM14 class who were wanting to be challenging that 900 point mark.
So it looks like we have got a result for this one officially. Basilov is confirmed as the winner of that heat, 915 points. Tomita in second, Nathan McManus in third place. So next heat. Heat number 8. Oh, we do have a revision to that one. Well, swimmer line number 4 was disqualified in that one, James, so it didn't affect the top positions, and we now move on to heat number 8. Diogo Cancela, Fenguin Liu, Tsunlok Jung, Mohamed Redzuan, Kaiichi Kimura, Owen Garside, Justin Capps, Philip Hebmuller, William Ellard and Bozung Yang. William Ellard back in the water again, James. Not a name like we've heard in GB circles, but had a great 100 free, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. It's a new name to myself as well, and seems to have come in with a bit of a bang, which is always exciting. And we say it before Paralympics, somebody always comes in and smashes it out the park that you've never heard of, and those are the guys that are really exciting and do great things.
Well, he's doing really well at the moment. William Ellard is inside world record pace, and the world record held by Rhys Dunn of Great Britain. That time of 2:08.02 that Rhys Dunn did in Tokyo at the Paralympic Games last time. So William Ellard looking really, really good in these opening stages here.
A very strong fly to get him started, the same as how Rhys would have swum it as well. So exciting times, and we'll see what the breaststroke leg brings.
William Ellard, 104.11. Slightly behind the pace set by Rhys Dunn. Rhys Dunn, of course, a very strong backstroker. It was probably the breaststroke maybe that was Rhys Dunn's more difficult stroke. We'll see what Ellard's doing now. In the centre lanes here, Mohamed Redzuan and Owen Garside's going well in 3 and 5. 7 is Philip Hebmuller coming back, the S13 swimmer from Germany. Really strong breaststroke for him, and William Ellard is beginning to get caught now by the field as they come up to this final turn. Oh, he is away. We know he's a strong freestyler. Has he got the stamina for this 200, James?
We see the back leg now of the freestyle. Be a close race to see who gets the ball first between lane 7 and 8.
Yeah, looks like Hebmuller and Ellard are coming in together. Ellard will take it in 2:20.96, so he was inside that record pace in the early stages. Not quite able to maintain that. The butterfly was really good at the start there, but Ellard takes it in 7:40 points.
A good couple of seconds drop off his entry time as well, so a big morning for him, and continuing to do well. Will be on the borderline of making it through to tonight?
Oh yeah, I think so. 740 points.
Yeah.
Quite possible, I think. Any more in the 700 range? Yeah, a couple more. Mohammed Redzan from Malaysia, 707. And Fengyu Lui from China in 706 points. So, and 811 from Diogo Cancela. Well spotted. You're all over these all over these points.
I'm closer to the screen, so
you are closer to the screen.
I can see them a bit better.
Yeah, Diogo Cancela, another one of the Portuguese team. Love these home championships in Madeira that they've had over the past few years. And Portugal, Portugal not a nation who have traditionally won a lot of medals at the major championships, but you know, to win a few, you know, a handful of medals at most, but to win a handful back in their home games was kind of really emotional in Madeira, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Portugal put on an incredible champs. I mean, multiple incredible champs now, but it was a great experience. And as we've said a couple of times this morning already, doing it at a home championships is always just that little bit more special.
I think Diogo Cancela was maybe the first medalist at the World Championships last year for the host nation. So I think, yeah, I'm sure he was. He was certainly the first male medalist. He might have had one of the females take a medal at the early stages, but I think Diogo Cancela was the first for the host nation, which is always, again, very, very good for that host nation to get on that medal podium. So we're on for the next heat number 9. Again, the times are ramping up here. Joseph Greaves goes in 0. Guan Long Yang from China in 1. Thomas Cordero from Portugal in 2. Honying Wong from Hong Kong in 3. Haizhou Zhu from China in 4. Ryan Potter from Preston in 5. Aymeric Parmentier in 6 for Belgium. Jack Milne goes in 7 for Great Britain. Kai Chong-hu from Hong Kong goes in line number 8, and world record holder in the S11 class, Roger Dorsman, goes in lane number 9. Dorsman will be favourite, I think, in terms of time. Also watch out for Haizhou Zhu from China and Guan Longyang as well. 2 Chinese swimmers in the S8 classification, so they are the lower numerical classes, so I might feature in the points a little bit later on. It's a Hong Kong swimmer out ahead, 104.20.
A couple of different races going on over different lanes in this one. And some really strong, getting to the stage now where some really strong all-round swimmers.
Yeah, Dorsman has certainly been one of the stars for the Dutch team in recent years. So he won this event in the Italian World Series last week. Dorsman just going over that final turn now. And he leads in 150.51. Set the world record back in the Berlin World Series last year, almost exactly a year ago. He's in that outside lane in lane number 9. Lane number 3 coming along well. It's the Honying Wong from Hong Kong. And he is going to bring them home, I think. Again, 782 points, James. That's pretty good. Could be a few 700s in this one, maybe. Oh, well. 865 for Roger Dorsman. World record holder, no surprise to see him. 872, yeah, hi Joe Ju. Said we should look out for the Chinese at the closing stages. And Paralympic silver medalist Hai Zhou Ju from China, 227 for him.
Some big swims across lots of different lanes there as well. So getting excited now and getting closer and closer to those 900-point mark again.
So we are on to the final heat. That is heat number 10. Still waiting for confirmation of that one. Of course, the goggles of Roger Dorsman will have to be checked. I think they have been checked by the looks of things. I think we've got a confirmed result now, but Hai Zhou Ju takes that one in 872 with Roger Dorsman 865. And Honying Wong from Hong Kong in position number 3. You see swimmers lining up for this final heat of this 200 meters individual medley for men. You have Anku Matsuda from Japan next to his Japanese teammate Jinki Sato. Rhys Darby from Great Britain in lane 2. Naohide Yamaguchi goes in lane number 3. Cameron Verncombe from Great Britain in 4. Brutos de Oliveira from Brazil goes in 5. Robert Isaac Johnson from Iceland in 6. 2 from Netherlands in 7 and 8. They have Bas Taken, Thomas van Vanrooy, and Alex Portal in the outside lane from France. Again, Alex Portal, another swimmer who's had a great couple of years. Getting medals at the big championships. Again, another one of these French teams building up for Paris next year. He'll be a big medal hope for that French team in Paris. He's the world champion in this event, this 200 individual medley. So watch out for the Frenchman over there in lane number 9. Qualification opportunity, James, for some of the GB swimmers?
Looking at Cameron and Rhys, both near the time. And you've got Robert Isaac Johnson, who obviously won this race last year. It should make that as a real close S14 race in the middle of the pool. Looking for 2:13.82 in the SM14 class.
Tough standard here. Cameron Verncombe was in the World Championship team for Great Britain last year. You can remember he's a very strong breaststroker, Cameron Verncombe, there in the white cap in the centre of the pool. Alex Portal looks like he's away and clear of the others, but Verncombe has got the lead at the moment. Thomas van Vanrooy coming back strongly. He's a Paralympic bronze medalist in this one in his class, in the S13 class. Swimmers with a visual impairment. And Rhys Darby trying to come back into contention as well. James, he's just behind Cameron Verncombe, I think. Rhys Darby, this should be a good contest between the 2 GB teammates here.
Less than a second between them at that last turn, so it'll be nice and close at the finish. Both of them aiming to get under that 2:13.82 qualifying time.
Oh, it's quite tough, and it looks like Rhys Darby might have the edge over Cameron Verncombe here. That Yamaguchi from Japan in between them as Alex Portal stretches for the wall here. Alex Portal is going to be into the wall first, and he will take that one in 2:10.38. Big points total. Rhys Darby, 2:13.85. Oh, he's 3 100ths outside, I think.
That's tough. It's so close, but big swim for him, and with 864 points. It's looking like he'll probably make it a second swim later on, so has another opportunity to chase that down.
Oh, that was so close to that qualification standard, but Rhys Darby, I think you're right, James, he's definitely going to be into one of the finals with that one. 864 points for Rhys Darby, just outside that qualification target there. Yamaguchi in second, the breaststroke Paralympic champion in the S14 class, but a good swim from Alex Portal in the outside lane there. Killian Portal as well, his brother is swimming at these championships, but good stuff from Alex Portal as we go on to the next event. 2 more events to come. Only with 1 heat in each, I think, James. It's the 150 metre individual medley events. We spoke about this one right at the start of the programme. It's an event which is unique to the Paralympic programme. We'll move to the other end of the pool for the start. So it'll be 1 length back, 1 length breaststroke and 1 length freestyle. Well, this might be the last event I think we might have tonight, because I'm not sure if the men's are going to be contested this morning. Might just have progressed to a straight final. So we will see a final for the men's 150 metres individual medley. Are we going to see a heat? No, I think we're just no men's this morning, James. Doesn't look like it.
According to my piece of paper.
Yeah, we've got a lot of bits of paper here. A lot of pieces of it on a very small desk. So we're searching for things, but we're okay. I think we're on it now.
Lots of preparation pieces of paper between us.
Yes.
Yeah, can't find the piece we're looking for.
No. So I wonder if we're going to get any more swimmers to challenge those qualification standards. We shall find out just in a second, because I think this is our last event of this morning's session, and that is the women's multi-classification 150 metres individual medley. The men progressing to a straight final. So this is the women. Hongman Louis from China in 0. Sofia Gabdolina from Kazakhstan in 1. Ellie Chalice goes in again in lane number 2. So Pereira dos Santos goes lane number 3. And Gina Butcher goes for Germany in 4. Lydia Vera da Cruz from Brazil in 5. Qingpeng Peng from China in 6, Yangfeng Zhu from China in 7, and Zhu Lu from China goes in lane number 8. Susanna Hext completes the lineup in lane number 9. I'm not sure if Susanna Hext has taken the start actually. We're told she'd be added, but I can't see her in lane number 9. So the action taking place at either side of the pool. The 2 Chinese swimmers, both in the SM4 classification. This event, of course, unique to the Paralympic programme. So 1 length backstroke, 1 length breaststroke, and 1 length freestyle. It's a good contest, this one, isn't it? Look at all these swimmers right in the middle of the pool. There's not much in it at all. And Great Britain's Ellie Chalice, of course, in this one. She's a British record holder in this one, James. It's not a qualification opportunity for her, is it? She's going to have to swim up a class to qualify.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ellie's the only SM3 swimming in this race. So everyone else is an SM4. It's almost a direct race. Ellie is swimming either upper class if she wishes to qualify, or she's going to just beat her time, which is 3:28.97 is the magic number we're looking for from Ellie this morning if she wants to go underneath her British record time.
Well, when she did that time in 2019, she was 2:19.20 at the end of the breaststroke.
Paul has all of the data, all the numbers.
There you go. So we'll keep our eyes on Ellie Chalice's split time there. Oh, it's going to be pretty close. She's got about 7 or 8 meters to go to the end there. Swimmers in the SM4 class already on their way back. It's the 2 Chinese swimmers, Jianfeng Zhu, Hongmin Liu. In fact, I think it's almost China, 1, 2, and 3, and almost 4 there. Just Brazilian Pereira de Santos. Check of the time.
So really just outside that split at the 100-meter mark, but flying down this last length now.
It's not been a target event for Ellie Chalice, has it? It's not offered it internationally. She's been concentrating on the international ones, quite rightly. So the 150 IM is not a target event for her, but well, she'll give it a go. She's a real fighter, Ellie Chalice, and again, a real find for the GB team over the last few years. Close finish at the front of the field there. 591 points for Yu Lu. And 589 for Pereira de Santos. Jianfei Zhu, 571 for her, and 565 for Hongmin Liu. So all the 500 points as Ellie Chalice comes in 3:24 for Ellie Chalice. Is that inside, James? I think it might be, you know.
That is. 4 seconds underneath the previous British
James,
record.
you were just relaxing there. You were standing there. Come on.
Absolutely relaxing, and she pulls it out the bag. Amazing swim for Ellie to finish off this morning's session.
So Ellie Chalice, 3:24. She has been, freestyle is one of our target events. And obviously it's paid dividends. We saw her break the record in the 100 freestyle earlier. We've seen her again swim a blistering freestyle leg there at the end of the IM to take a massive record.
It's incredible. It does show how much she must have improved, due being a few seconds off the time at the 100 mark, and to be able to come back that far underneath just shows how big that last length was.
Well, I think the result is confirmed. I think that might be a British record for Ellie Chalice, so a great way to finish the morning session, James. Well, thank you very much for your company. Hope you enjoyed your first experience despite the technical challenges we've had.
It's been an absolute pleasure. I've enjoyed every second of it, and Paul to guide me along and help me out has been excellent.
Well, we hope we are going to see you back to join us on the live stream tonight for the finals. It should be very exciting. We've got the multi-classification finals, the international finals for the 100 freestyle for women and for men, 200 meters individual medley for women and men, and 150 meters individual medley for women and men. So please join us. We will be back on the live stream just before 5 o'clock local time here in the UK. Join us then. Should be good.
Gives you 15 gigabytes of 5G data and unlimited UK minutes and text for just £10 a month. Plus, no contract, change or cancel anytime.
excellent customer service.
So what's stopping you joining the bill-busting revolution? The Bara. More for less.